Can you think about white rappers for a minute, right? Let's just take a ride.
Hold your horse.
What you finna say?
Hold on. Just walk
Hold your goddamn horses. Now you taking
me,
this
baby,
shit too damn far.
Think about it now. Now hip hop is inspired by what? Our people, okay? So that means they're inspired by us by some means to hop into that ram, or at least that genre of music.
Yeah,
so you mean tell me they don't fuck with them sometimes when creating and when writing? Like, damn. Nigga would be perfect right now. Like,
if he could let it fly, that'd be the spot right there.
Yeah, straight up. That's what make that nigga Eminem so impressive.
Close though.
I mean, can we all agree that we impressed by Eminem?
20 plus years, he ain't let one fly.
Without saying nigga.
He ain't let one.
Without saying nigga,
he said a lot of words, man. It's a lot of words.
Because if you pay attention, nigga.
I'd heard him rhyme trigger, figure, and he get way to the end. I'm like, no, he got to say it now. It ain't too much left. It ain't too much. He take it all the way there. Pressure on, boy. Straight up.
As soon as he in the ball, if he in the ball with any kind of eagle or something like that, we just waiting. This might be the time.
So do you think there is some unreleased shit where he has even in the form? Because I'm pretty sure nigga M be freestyling, so he just say he in that bitch. He creating. He in the booth. He spitting.
On some shit, bro. That might be the biggest blackmail ever. If you got a recording of this nigga,
Eminem saying,
bro, he got to pay you every week to keep me from dropping.
What the fuck is wrong with these niggas?
Niggas cool.
What's wrong with these niggas? What's wrong with these niggas?
No. If Eminem get a Joe Rogan clip exposed right now,
no, niggas cool. He damn they got a nigga call.
I was gonna say, speaking of white folks saying nigga over and over and over again, this man Joe Rogan,
good old Joe,
and the Joe Rogan experience. Apparently, a part of the Joe Rogan experience. Say nigga 100 times.
Bro, I seen another clip where he was like, bro, he said he just drove into this black neighborhood and it's kind of like the jungle. I said, damn.
That nigga said it was like Planet of the Apes.
Oh no, he said that was the movie they was going to watch.
Yeah,
and he went into this black movie theater, but he was like, they would just, it's a stereotype of black people talking in there, and that's, I guess, I'm not saying all black people do that, but in this neighborhood they talk during the movie and everything. And I was sitting there like,
bruh,
God,
the one that killed me is when he was talking to the mixed dude.
Oh, he was like the jean shit.
Yeah,
that was wild.
He said, so you kind of got the best of both worlds, huh? You got like the body of a black man and the mind of a white man.
I ain't seen that one.
That was the worst. That was the worst.
That was the one I'm like, okay, yeah, bro. This nigga.
I almost started fucking with this nigga. Now I'm glad I ain't fuck with that nigga.
Bro, and it's crazy how many black folks is just like,
they giving Joe Rogan a nigga card.
Apparently,
shit. I ain't never heard about nigga doing that.
That's how I know Candace Owens, right? Ain't she defending that nigga?
Never even got into that campaign. I took a glimpse from the outside, so I ain't going in there.
And what's crazy
I ain't
is
that.
India Irie, she pulled her shit from Spotify. If it was some other artists that did it too, some white artists that did that shit. But if black people all together,
the right ones ain't do it.
All of them. If all black people would be like, "Hey yo, Spotify, we ain't fucking with y'all no more." They have to do something.
But they not, because the reason they not gonna do that shit, because like Fat Joe said, bro, he's like, bro, I feel what you're saying, but I'm not gonna stop the bag. I know I got to feed my family. Like, first of all, Fat Joe, he not even black. He says nigga because he's from New York.
Joey Crack get a nigga card too, huh?
Yeah, New York different, bro. I ain't gonna lie, New York is different.
But in the South, you can't do that.
New York,
I look at that shit differently.
New York let a lot of them fly.
That's a lie though, because
But in LA, they let Asian and white people say nigga if they grew up in that neighborhood.
I don't go for none of this shit.
They'll tell you that, oh, bro, we grew all
niggas can't
around
say so. You gotta close white friends.
It's different as fuck. But it's a documentary about Asian hip hop, and it's some of it's out in Cali. And they had like a whole documentary. I forgot what platform it was on. I think it may have been Complex. And they was like, nah, bro, like we say nigga. You know what I'm saying? He was saying nigga on the documentary. And they say it in their music. Yeah. They say it to different black people. They let that shit.
I know Mexican be letting that bit rip.
You feel me? Like in different parts of America, it's different. Now, if you bring it to social media where other people can get into it, yeah, motherfuckers gonna be like, nah, but I don't like that.
Different regions. Yeah, and in a very select few who aren't from a certain region, they'll say it, but that shit ain't as dominant as it is in the South. Like it's more niggas who just playing out don't give a damn than it is who gonna just rally behind like, yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and say that I feel like the majority of black people in America don't want other races to say nigga. I will say 90% of black people in America don't like other races saying nigga. But there are black people who give other people a pass because they grew up around that specific area. You know what I'm saying? In different parts of the world other than the South. Yeah, you might have a couple people that's black in the South that'll let people say nigga around them.
So what do you do about that? Like two people come up in under the same circumstance. They make it crazy and just say, hey, they live right next door to each other.
You still can't say nigga. Don't say it to me.
It's rough. You seen everything I seen. You
don't say
been
nigga
through
to
everything
me.
I've ever been through. Not saying
You ain't been through everything I've been through.
They ain't really gonna say it to somebody.
Not saying nigga to you.
They still ain't.
But saying nigga around you.
But I'm saying you can't skip past
that
like that. You haven't been through everything I've been through. If you not black, there's no way you've been through everything I've been through.
Bet.
It's not possible.
They just say you stay next door though.
What that mean?
Different worlds.
Exactly. We live in two different worlds next door.
I know some young white guys who come up under the same circumstances.
No, they didn't.
Who feel like
no, they didn't. That's what you missing the point.
I got you.
When you have white privilege, it's not the same circumstances. It don't matter if you live in the same house as the motherfucker. It's not the same.
I bet some guys who never know what it may feel like to come up as a black man feel targeted as a black man.
Why?
I heard a white guy say, like 20-year-old white male in an auto mechanic shop feels that way. If you heard this man on the phone, like dog, this man, you can tell he done been around the way. Now that don't justify nothing, but I can't act like I ain't hit this young man rapping Gucci Man that they was playing over in the shop. Why he had a tie in his hand?
Yeah.
Doing his job.
How does he dress?
He said nigga.
How does he carry himself?
Bro, you want to know what's crazy? He carries himself like him. Like curly hair. He ain't in that bitch busting the sack, but the young nigga got swag. You know what I mean? Don't take that out of context. My brother. don't take.
He ready to bounce on you.
You get what I'm saying? But you can tell, bro, that he got his own. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's another white man that works in that bitch, bro.
You say nigga slapping.
It's another white man that works. We was having a conversation inside the office, bro. I came inside, was talking to me and another one of my brothers that worked there, and there's about to be some changes at the place that we work in. He was just asking us how we felt. And this is another man who has come up around us all his life. You know what I'm saying? Penitentiary, all that good shit. We ain't gotta get into all that. However, we was like, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, you got two black men over here. This is me talking. You got two brown boys over here. I think they gonna send another form of leadership in to take things over. And, you know, he was like, yeah, y'all like me, man. That's why all my life I've been in the field. I'm a field nigga. I ain't no house nigga. And walk straight out.
Who said it? The white man?
That is crazy.
Because you gotta think about it, bro. Even though they may not be, there are people out here that actually believe. That same white boy, I promise to God, no bullshit. He had black shit on his hands from a tire. And he said, man, I'm fucking around and I'm changing races out this bitch. It's a dream come true, bitch. He said that. I promise to God on my child's life. I'm serious. So I'm saying, like, so what do we do about them?
Be black though.
Some white people want to be black, but it's some black people want to be white.
Because think about it, that same man that live next door, that might be him and another black boy might be like brothers. And in that man mind, this nigga right here that been through everything I've been through.
I'm scared. I'm scared of white people that want to be black because
I just don't like
you. So if a motherfucker was to really weigh out the options and what it's like being a nigga and what it's like being white, you would choose being fucking white every fucking time. Now we as black people have taken that shit and we have we taking pride in that shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That like ain't nobody, no matter what circumstances we given, no matter what cards we dealt, we gonna take that shit and we are gonna ride with it, no matter what the fuck the circumstance did. Now some people, you got some black people that folded under that shit. They folded under the pressure and they couldn't take it, and they decided to want to be, you know what I'm saying, a part of the white part of the society. And they shook and they jived to get wherever the fuck they wanted to get to. And they got what they got. But you can't come back into this black shit no more after you do that.
I ain't gonna lie, as we elevate, bro, don't you don't see what we go, well, it's gonna be more a bigger percentage of black people that's not exposed, that ain't never been exposed to quote unquote the culture. They've never seen it.
That's
You
a
feel
whole
me?
nother.
As we continue to rise, you see what I'm saying? Like we want to come up as people.
It's also
Like
that's
you know
also
how
that
hard
Struggle
it's gonna
ain't
be
our
to
culture
maintain.
though.
I ain't just talking about the struggle though. I'm talking about like
Say that now.
just okay. Like
Say
when
that.
they asked Denzel Washington. They was doing like some after a movie they shot. They asked him like why didn't could a white man have directed the movie that they did?
Seen
And he
that.
was like, yo,
I seen
you know
that.
what I'm saying? Martin Scorsese could have did this, and you know what I'm saying, Quentin Tarantino could have did this movie, but it's a culture thing. You feel me? It's just certain isms that they not going to know about. When we sit around, we can talk about shit because we from the South, so we still in a lot of the rooted shit. Like we still eat collard greens, neck bones, and shit like that. As black people move up more and shit like that, I just think that shit gonna fizzle out more, bro, because they gonna be removed, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know, I meet plenty of people that be like from other places, like, oh, I got family down south, but they ain't never even been down south, or they don't even know just certain shit that it's certain inside jokes that we can even say that they just don't even know shit about. You know what I'm saying? And that's good. And it's like, is that good? And what do we hold on to as we elevate? Like, what do we say is this is part of the culture? Like, what gets passed on from? You know, is it just the good cooking? Is it just the barbecues? Is it just the haircuts? What is it like? What gets passed on? Because we ain't got too much of the African shit left. You know what I'm saying? We got to go back and dig, and you pull from wherever you pull from with that. You know what I'm saying? Whichever tribe, whatever, you know what I'm saying, you relate to and shit like that. But of what we got of the Black American culture, which is rooted in struggle, but not totally in struggle. It's other parts, but like, what of those other parts do we say, hey, we're gonna pass this on, so even when we move about the project, we get to the wherever we get, and my grandkids and shit, how much of that I'm gonna be like, hey, y'all still finna learn how to goddamn go outside and
Yeah, I would say it's the recreational thing that'll be the hardest part because the food is gonna be. I don't think that's gonna have a problem with being passed down. I think people are still pretty much able to capture their grandmama's cooking and stuff like that. And then you got the music, which is developing, and it's on wax, and we got so many different ways to redevelop music and listen to it again. I don't think that'll have a problem. It'll just be like the recreational stuff. I think that'll be the hard part. Like, I don't know if little girls will be outside double dutching.
Niggas don't do that.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if the kids be outside hopscotching. Like, some of that stuff might get lost in the wash, but that's technology.
Definitely say,
you know what I'm saying? That ain't necessarily on our generation. That ain't necessarily on black people. I think that's across the board.
That's a generational thing.
Yeah, like, that's a generational thing across the board. Like, it's probably white, whatever white culture is, it's probably white cultural stuff that they came up doing that they kids don't do no more because they got iPads and shit.
The TV took away a lot of shit.
Yeah, motherfuckers probably don't knit half as much as they used to. You know what I'm saying? They don't teach their daughters how to knit no more.
Motherfuckers just sit at the family table and eat dinner and shit. Niggas don't really do that.
Sit together at the
now that's the one. But I'm not gonna lie. When I have a family, that's the one thing I'm gonna like. I'm talking about. I'm gonna plant my flag on that, bro. Family dinner, bro. That's gonna be my number one rule. Like, we gonna sit down. If we don't do shit else right for the whole day, we all gonna sit down at one point and eat a meal together. I don't care if it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. We gonna get at least one meal where we sit at a table together. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, lay my eyes on you though, cause I feel like once you become a certain age, hell, you ain't really seeing your folks like that, if that makes sense. When you start getting into your extracurriculars, and, you know, you get your own group of friends. When you become a teenager, like, that shit, you slowly starting to fade out a little bit.
For dinner time, you ain't there for dinner time.
That's one of the scariest things about my kids. Like, I have to remind myself, like, yeah, soak this up, because eventually they're gonna be their own little people doing their own little
got their own circles.
You know what I'm saying?
Branching off.
It's like, and it's gone. But I don't know, bro. I just feel like it's just a different understanding for those guys, for those white guys, man, who grew up around a certain thing, although they may not never understand the full meaning of what it is to be black in America. There are guys who aspire to for more reasons than just a cultural thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because there's a lot of guys who feel like they've never gotten acceptance from their own people.
I think some of them white guys too lost in the sauce though, because they love black people so much.
That's what we got in common.
That they have lost. I'm not gonna say white pride, because you can't be proud of being
they
white.
Never have.
Because they have actual culture, so like it's Italian or wherever. But it's like he's so caught up in loving black people that he don't understand himself. I think that's all I got to do is you got to find yourself. You got an actual culture, you got an actual heritage, you got an actual family and a lineage that you can look into and find some love and find some pride in that. By just taking on somebody else's and then expecting them to accept you. It's just, if I'm the person who's actually in the culture, that's always gonna look like infiltration to me. Because what's your goal? You know what I'm saying? What's your plan here? Like, we've seen our community go down. We saw that happen to the Black Panthers. We've seen some of our strongest groups fail to infiltration. It's not always white people infiltrating, but it's a white agenda. And they might use black people sometimes. But it's like, so it'll just never feel like it'll never feel.
Tuskegee experiment.
Exactly. Like, I'm not gonna allow you to get, like, even with the saying nigga thing, I'm not gonna allow you in that space. Cause that's, now you done infiltrated that comfort zone. And I don't know what you're gonna do when you get here. Like, I don't know what your reasoning for being in this comfort zone is. Because you do have white skin. So if you chose to flip the switch at any time, that's an option for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have that option.
I don't want to be a part of this anymore.
Yeah.
I retire.
Think about how confusing that'll get for someone who got biracial kids. Like,
I don't know how that shit
feels. You got a white daddy, and daddy slanging nigga all the time, and you at school like, shit, my dad say that shit all the time. Or you hear that conversation as a biracial kid, and you know that, shit, well, my daddy say it all the time, but you know your daddy background, you know your daddy's story. Like, but shit, let's be real, you black. I don't know, we ain't gotta get into all that. I just thought that was interesting because when that young man passed by me today.
Nah, that's just fucked up, man. Yeah, that's just fucked up. If your daddy doing that, shit. I know some, bro. What's crazy? I feel like I know some situations where, like, I don't even think they be mixed, but like, I know some white girls who like don't fuck with their daddy because they daddy racist. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
Like, so I can imagine if you mix, like, oh, my daddy be saying nigga, so I don't like that nigga. You know what I'm saying? I can really, especially this generation, bro, I can definitely see some of these girls.
This generation,
I don't fuck with my daddy.
This generation will stop fucking with their parents over some shit like that.
Hey, this generation look